People of Earth. I want to take a minute to talk to some of the Dr. Phil fans out there right now. There are a lot of people who are very supportive. I go back and I look at this video of guest starts trouble on the Dr. Phil show during the commercial break. And I'm Thomas. I'm the guest who started all that trouble during the commercial break by standing up for myself to Dr. Phil. And I'm very grateful for the people who are supportive. A lot of good people in this country. There's a lot of good people who see through charlatans. I mean, if you look at Dr. Phil, you look out into that audience. I sat there and I looked out into that audience, and what you see out there is a bunch of bloodthirsty vultures. And what they are is they're bloodthirsty. They are I would say eager, but with blood dripping off their teeth. It's more than eager. These people there's a lust for. They're filled with this insane lust to watch Dr. Phil rip a person apart. They want to watch Dr. Phil tear into a person and destroy a person, just demean him and just diminish him and just belittle and crush a person. That's what the people in those seats out there in the Dr. Phil audiences, that's what they want. That's what they come there to see, And so, I look at people like that and I just go, my God, what is wrong with you people, man? Seriously? You come here to watch Dr. Phil destroy a person who has a problem? Now, I was one of the lucky ones. I didn't go to Dr. Phil for help with any problem. I had already overcome my own problem before I went there. I went there to try and help other people overcome their problem. And just really not even trying to help, so much help, just encourage them. I just wanted other people to know who also may have a problem. I just wanted them to know, man, that, there's a way out. You can overcome your problem. And I'm just here to show you, I'm no guru or nothing like that by any means. But I did figure out how to overcome a very troubling compulsive behavior. So if that's worth anything, I know how to overcome a troubling compulsive behavior because I did it. And even Dr. Phil said only 15% of people afflicted ever overcome those problems. And here I am, 17 years after the fact, and I'm free, man. I'm free of it, so hallelujah and thank you, Jesus. And I'm free of it. You understand me? But here's what I'm saying is about the people in Dr. Phil. Now, very grateful for the people who are very supportive. Very grateful for you folks, man. You're the salt of the earth. You guys are the best. But a lot of people out there who are hardcore Dr. Phil fans, and they like to bash me. They call me, this pervert. They don't have, I guess, the ability to think deeply enough to understand that some people have problems. And I don't know how the problems start. I don't know what they stem from. I got an idea, but and I used to, how did this start? I used to, just rack my brain trying to figure out how I got like that. And I come to realize that it's not important. It doesn't matter how you got like that. What's important is how do you stop? That's what's important. You understand what I'm saying? So for the people who, because I go and I read the message, the comment section below the guest starts trouble on during the commercial break on the Dr. Phil video clip, and I read the comments down there sometimes because they, it's about me, and of course, obviously, I'm curious about what people are saying. So every once in a while, I go back and I read the comments. Maybe once every month or two, I'll drop by and just read what people are saying. And a lot of people are very, very hardcore Dr. Phil fans, and a lot of people hate me like as if I did something to them personally, and I'm just going like, wow, I don't even know you. What the fuck are you bashing me like this for? Excuse my language. But, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it pisses me off a little bit. Be honest with you. I'm not Gandhi. Hey, look. And a lot of people, you're not well. Look, you get angry. Yeah, I get angry. So do you, motherfucker. It's like, I still flip people off on the freeway if they cut me off, and then, at me. It's like, wait a minute, you cut me off. So yeah, just because I overcame exhibitionism doesn't mean I'm fucking Gandhi all of a sudden. It means that I overcame that. Okay, so I don't do that anymore. Now I'm kind of just like, an average Joe. But for the people who like to come on there and bash me and hate me, or for the people who, some of them don't even so much trash me and with the vulgarity and all that, although there's that faction. Some of them are just really hardcore Dr. Phil fans, and I say to them this, Dr. Phil ambushed me, on that show, because when he had his producers and everything, come to me and, kind of get my story before going on the show, what he was doing, what he really did was, and this is very clever, it's very easy to look like you're superior in intelligence when you send people out for you to gather intelligence and bring all that intel back so you can study up on this guy. So that when he comes on stage, and then you prep the guy. This is what they did to me. They prepped me. They sent these people to me and they said, oh, Dr. Phil thinks it's admirable that you're coming forward and blah, 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 blah. Right? So my guard's down when I come on the show. Then this fool starts attacking me. Oh, I don't believe you've ever come. Well, at one point he says, well, I find that hard to believe. And I was like, well, Dr. Phil, that's the thing about the truth is that, the truth don't know who you are. And so here's the thing about the truth is it is not contingent upon your belief, and it's very arrogant for him to think that when I tell him the truth, just because he don't believe it, that the truth is somehow swayed by the fact that Dr. Phil doesn't believe it. Well, it's not the truth anymore. Dr. Phil don't believe it. No. The truth is the truth, whether almighty Dr. Phil believes it or not. And here's the thing about Dr. Phil. If I can sit there and tell Dr. Phil the truth and he can't recognize the truth when he hears it, maybe he should be doing plumbing or some shit, drywall, instead of sitting there giving psychological advice to people. Maybe he's just not real good at what he does if he can't recognize the truth when he hears it. Because I sat there and looked that man in the eye, told him the truth, and he says, well, I don't know if I believe that. I find that hard to believe. Well, maybe you're in the wrong business if you don't recognize the truth when you hear it, Phil. Now, I will say this to the people who I respect the fact that how you feel about Dr. Phil. Sometimes, as Americans, we're very much into our celebrities and we love to worship those celebrities, some of us. I personally, if Beyonce invited me to a freaking concert for free and gave me backstage passes, I wouldn't go. I'd turn her down. In fact, if Taylor Swift even offered, or any of them, if Taylor Swift offered me $500 to come to one of her concerts and I get backstage passes and I get to hang out with Taylor, I would say thanks, but no thanks. But you can still mail me the $500 if you want, but I'm not coming to your concert. And I don't want to hang out backstage. I don't want a backstage pass, and I don't even want to meet you. I'm just not a celebrity worshiping type of person, but I do understand that mentality. We put people on pedestals, When I was younger, I loved Elvis. I was crazy about Elvis. I liked Michael Jackson because he could dance and all that, and he and all that. I loved it. But I just never went that length to worship them, But I get it. And there are people who worship Dr. Phil. They're mixed up. They're confused. But I offer this challenge. All of you people who think that Dr. Phil is so intelligent, I encourage every person who sees this video to call up the Dr. Phil show, pressure them into bringing me back on that show. This time I will go on the show with my eyes open instead of going in there blindly thinking what they set me up to believe, which was that Dr. Phil supported me. This time I will go on the Dr. Phil show if he's got the guts to call me back on that show, which I guarantee you, Dr. Phil does not have the guts to bring me back on that show to discuss what has happened to me in all this time. I'm going to tell you something. Dr. Phil sat right there on that show because I went on there with my girlfriend at the time, and he was supposed to give us counseling and therapy after the show. He was supposed to set up and arrange for that. Well, he never did. Dr. Phil's a liar. He never did that. And I would like to go back on the show and call him out on that. I would like to go back on that show and confront Dr. Phil on an even playing field without having been set up and prepped by his producers and all the other people that he sent out there to pat me on the back and tell me, oh, Dr. Phil thinks you're great. Then come on the show and have him start attacking me. I was just like, what? What the hell is this? He's saying he don't believe me and this and that. It's like, what the hell's going on? I bent over backwards, buddy. No. You tried to make a fool out of me, buddy. What? You said I made a fool out of you. No, I said you tried. No, we can go back and play the tape. Go back and play it. You notice that he didn't go back and play it, right? That's because Phil ain't as sharp as, I don't know if he got dementia or what, man. I don't know what's going on with Dr. Phil, but he's not that bright. And I'll tell you what, I encourage everyone who sees this video, call the Dr. Phil show. I encourage all of you, call up that Dr. Phil show, demand, Just bombard them with phone calls. All of y'all. Because there's like 5 million people or something that have seen this video clip of the guest starting trouble. Well, I'd like a chance to vindicate myself in terms of him saying things like he doesn't believe this that I said or that I said, and that he really doubts that I have recovered from this thing. Look, unless you're a complete idiot, it's like somebody said in the comment section, this guy's either locked up or, he's well, And so here I am, I'm not locked up. So what does that tell you? I mean, obviously, nobody goes on nationwide television, to discuss that kind of behavior if they're still engaging in it. That would be stupid because I can't hide now. Everybody knows who I am. So anyway, this guy did flashed himself at me and he was the guy on the Dr. Phil show. Easily located, all right? Easily located and identified now, okay? Because they have all the information as to who I am. So obviously, I'm not engaging in that anymore because that's a compulsive behavior. And any person, the lowest forehead in the room, can comprehend and know what that means to have be engaging in compulsive behavior. It means your mind is obsessed with this behavior. You can't stop doing it no matter how badly you want to because you just don't have the tools that you haven't put in the work. It takes a lot of work to overcome a behavior that's engaged in on a compulsive level. But I would encourage you folks to contact the Dr. Phil show. And if Dr. Phil, unless he's a coward, unless Dr. Phil is a mentally deficient coward, he will bring me back on that show for a fair discussion with regard to exhibitionism, with a fair discussion as to my personal recovery from exhibitionism. Because I stand here and I look you in the eye right now and I tell you that I've recovered from that behavior over a decade ago, somewhere between 15, 20 years ago. So if I'm lying, why would I want to go on national television? And if I'm not lying, then why would Dr. Phil not want me to come on the show and share with other people? Because here's the thing. If I know how to overcome compulsive exhibitionism, if I know how to overcome that, then doesn't it stand to reason that I might know something that I could share with other people to also get them to stop or help them to stop, help them to recover? And if I can just help one person to recover from compulsive exhibitionism or compulsive anything, and that prevents that person from going out and victimizing countless people, isn't it worth it to have me help one person overcome a compulsion? Because here's the thing. Phil said something that was completely stupid. And that's like telling a surgeon, wait a minute. Now that's like telling a surgeon that he can't, with a patient with a brain tumor that, a patient with a brain tumor telling a surgeon that he can't help them unless he has a tumor. Well, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my damn life. Look, let's take a look at what a brain surgeon does. A brain surgeon takes a patient where? Into an operating room. And what does he do? He takes a scalpel and he physically removes that tumor. Within a few hours, the patient is cured. He's cured because the doctor, using his skills with operating instruments, successfully physically removed the tumor. Okay? You show me a psychiatrist or a psychologist that can take a person into a damn operating room and physically remove a troubling behavior with a scalpel. And I'll show you one rich frickin' psychologist. It can't be done because the bottom line about changing a behavior is this. You have to do it. No one can do it for you. A brain surgeon can remove a tumor for you. There's no psychologist on this planet who can remove a behavior for you. And anybody that thinks there is one, I want you to go see the men in the white jackets over here. They're going to take good care of you. Because there's no way that anyone can change a behavior for a person. You have to do it. Now, you can get help along the way, and that's what I'm offering because I've done it. When I told Dr. Phil, and he agreed with this, what do you know about it? the compulsive behavior because you've never had a compulsive behavior. So what do you know about it? You couldn't possibly understand, for one, the self-loathing that comes with it. You couldn't possibly understand the frustration that comes from looking in the mirror and hating that person that you see in that mirror, just being so disgusted with that person because you can't live up to your own set of moral freaking ethics. Huh? And even he agreed with that. You can't understand that. You can help a person overcome behaviors as a psychologist, as a counselor, as a therapist, or whatever. You can help a person. You can facilitate and help that person overcome it. But ultimately, it's up to that person, man. You have to do it for yourself. I had to look in the mirror, man, and say, you're the problem. You are the problem, and you have to change. And it took a lot of work. Don't think that it's easy to overcome a compulsive behavior. It is not, and it's not going to happen like Phil would have you believe in an operating room in a few hours. That's not going to happen. It takes a long time. You got to do a lot of work, but you can overcome that behavior. So again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to shut up. I'd like for everyone who sees this video to contact the Dr. Phil Show and ask him whatever happened to Thomas, the guy that started trouble during the commercial break. I'd like to see him come on again and hear what he has to say and hear what Dr. Phil has to say on an even playing field. Because I'd like to find out what happened. And, to this guy. Did he recover? Does he know how to recover? Can he share how he recovered with other people and maybe help them to recover so that other people won't be victimized? Because isn't that what we want? Don't you want people who are victimizing other people to stop? Don't you want to prevent people from being victimized? Because if Dr. Phil really gave a shit about victims, he would want someone who has overcome a behavior that involves the victimization of other people. He would want them to help other people to stop behaviors that victimize other people, because what happens? Less victims, less victimization, and that should be the goal that we all want. Shouldn't it? I think so. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and shut up. I'm going to wish you guys a blessed day, and we'll talk to you soon.